Hello YouTube, it's IrishBear76. Talking today about Dr. Zamboni in Ferrara, Italy. His discovery of the condition, chronic cerebrospinal venous insufficiency, that he hypothesized all MS patients have. And so far, he's right. Everyone that they've tested has it. CCSVI he came up with that, he coined that phrase, is a condition where there's a stenosis of veins that take blood out of the brain, deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood has to exit in order for oxygenated blood to circulate in the cerebrospinal veins. So the two veins that he found have the stenosis stricture. There's several words for it. It's basically the same thing that happens in heart disease with the coronary arteries, where they get clogged with cholesterol and plaque. But in this, it's from what his research is showing, it's possibly a congenital, just something you're born with, where your veins are either structurally they're just thin in certain areas, they're kinked, or there's some body pressing into it. The two veins that he's really looking at, where he sees 100% of the people that he's looked at, is the jugular and the azygos vein, which isn't like a very commonly talked about vein. But anyway, I've had a lot of people ask me what I think of his theory and what my thoughts are on it. Is that it quite possibly could be a cure for certain types of MS. Absolutely. Just the information. It is the only theory of what causes MS that includes everything. The vitamin D plays a big role in cardiovascular health. Epstein-Barr virus. A lot of times the EBV is in the iron in the blood. One of the tests that they do on you when you have Epstein-Barr is a transferrin iron test. Just everything fits. Why do Canadians get it more than Americans? So the further north, less vitamin D. Why did I start improving when I started taking ginkgo biloba? It perfuses the brain. There's certain things I'm going to start looking into till we can get this surgery, like horse chestnut's supposed to help with deoxygenated blood being carried with varicosities and things like that. So yeah, this is opening up a whole new world of research, and I'm very excited. I'm tempering my excitement. The thing is that you have to take into consideration here is that these people want to say we have found a cure. The problem with that is permanent damage that's been done to our brain. They can't reverse that right now. So permanent damage will be, as permanent implies, for forever. The problem is if you have secondary progressive, how much of that is permanent damage and how much of it is chronic inflammation from that blood getting backed up into the brain. For example, much as you get older, your cholesterol in your veins increases. So if you already have a stenosis or a stricture in your vein, and you start building plaque around that, then it's going to get worse and worse and worse, which is going to progress. So why do people have primary progressive? Well, their strictures are just very, very tight. It's a lot of blood's backing up. The research, I have done so much research. I've waited to make this video. I've tested it against every theory I've come up in my head. It fits. This is the only theory that I have seen, read, heard about that covers every single theory about MS. It covers everything. And I think the MS societies are being prudent in not in telling people, hey, wait, watch this research. But prudence is going to have to go by the wayside, because they need to start doing this procedure. It's helping people. It's reversing flare-ups. It's giving people back function that they thought they didn't have forever. It's because the way I look at it, yes, permanent things. Is it going to get you from the wheelchair to walking again? Probably not. If you're at that point, the damage has been done. But think of all the people right now that are relapsing, remitting, that could go over to secondary progressive and lose more and more function while they could do this procedure to delay that. This is the biggest breakthrough in MS, bigger than the interferons. And I said, I'm trying to be very careful with how I, word things and not to get people's hopes too high up. But I've cried tears of excitement for days. With every discovery I've made, every time I've tried to test this theory and break it down, nothing breaks it down. It holds up pretty good. Wayne State University, Detroit, Michigan, at the MRI Institute. There's you just put in chronic cerebral spinal venous insufficiency, and it'll come up. Their imaging shows the same thing that Dr. Zamboni's research has shown. The clinic in Buffalo. I mean, the Canadian Health Service has been flooded, and the MS Society has been flooded with so much emails and letters and things that they're actually going to have to seriously look into Zamboni's liberation procedure, is what he calls it. And just think of that. He puts a stent or does an angioplasty, opens up the vein. People are getting instantaneously better. And this fits with the blood backing up. It's like, well, it's an autoimmune disease. Okay, MS is this new paradigm he's come up with is saying MS is a symptom of another disease, and that just it breaks conventional wisdom on MS. So people aren't going to just embrace it. But with what I'm seeing, all the connections are being made. So what basically he's saying is this thing that we're born with causes this venous insufficiency, which then causes the blood-brain barrier to become inflamed, which allows from that blood backing up into the brain. So when the blood-brain barrier breaks down, it allows your immune system to get in there, right? So the immune system gets in your cerebral spinal area, and it sees this iron deposit. And Epstein-Barr, if you've ever had it, it binds with that iron. So it sees dying tissue, which it's going to say, well, that's a foreign invader. It sees inflammation, so I got to respond to that. I'm pretending I'm a T cell who can talk. I see iron, which shouldn't be here. I see Epstein-Barr that shouldn't be here. I see all this stuff. So the autoimmune response is a symptom of the cerebral spinal venous insufficiency. So CCSVI is the disease. The autoimmunity is what that causes MS is a symptom of that disease in Zamboni's research. Now I'm running over my time, but please check out the next video because this will be a two-parter. So do not finish this series because I have some exciting things on the next part. So God bless and see you on part 2.